welcome back to the basic VBA video series. In this video, we are going to learn about MessageBox and InputBox. So let me go to the VBA editor, and if you like my video, please share and give the like, and please subscribe my channel as well. Rename the module. So before going there, just let me clear you about the message. So MessageBox we use for show the output to the user. Sometimes show few kind of few scenarios are there where we can take little bit some kind of input from user. We'll see in a bit how. And normally we use it to show any kind of message or any kind of information to the user or output it may possible. And also few cases are there where we can take the input from user as well. So majorly there are various types of message box, but normally we use three type of majorly. One is to show the information, one is show the error, and third one is to take any kind of information like take the you have seen that in real life that when message box would you like to proceed, you will click yes or no. So when you click yes, you're sending we are receiving something from the user, like a number or the yes, what are they, by yes there is one number, by no there is one number. Also we have text. We'll see in a bit how to handle that. So right, let me write sub message. So first just we say the syntax in this image. For message box we have image box. Okay, so when we are showing any message, and for that just after writing the message box, hit the space bar, then just in double quote show the message you would like to show. For example, welcome. So this is a welcome to VBA. So this is one message you would like to show, and then after dot, see here the what is highlighting here. We can just see here type of message box. Okay, so here we have the type of message box. You can see that yes, no, cancel, yes, no, and here is application critical, default, information. So here we are going to use the information. We would like to just, this is what the information we are sharing, just giving to the user. Okay, and then we can use the title, which will come to the title, but for an example, just information I'm giving it to you. So so this, and that's not that much important. So see how it is going to work. So if I'm writing, it will come the message box like information is in title bar and welcome to VBA, and there is one icon of information, and then you can say OK. Now the second one, when we'd like to show some error message will be required in future. So just see image box, then the space, and then we found an error with error code, one example, code 001. Okay, just giving that thing, that information. Then when we are giving this kind of error, we should select VB critical, that is for error. Okay, and then title error message. Saying just an error only. So see and it, and just let me try this. Now it is title bar, it is an error, just showing error, and for the error message it is cross. The sign is different, and that's why we use this type of message box. And oh, now third scenario is when we want to ask. I'm giving one scenario when you ask the user that would you like to proceed or not. Okay. Now by using this message box, we are asking something to the user, and obviously we are getting some information from user input, right? So whether he will say either yes or no, and we know that whatever we are getting from the user, we need to keep it somewhere, like for why? Because if he is saying yes, then based on that we need to do some treatment in later. Okay, so whether what he has said, we need to capture it somewhere, and we know how we do this. We do this by keeping the same thing in variable. So let me declare it first, dim as result. Sorry, not result, string. Now why I am capturing it as string? Whenever you take any kind of information from user, you should take it string, and if it is number, because it will come as a string. So just we'll see in a bit. While taking this in string, we'll see in a bit. So let's this is equal to MSG box. Now we can't give the space, right? We can't give the space because here when we are capturing any we are receiving something from that object, then we need to use parentheses when we have something to receive from that one object. What is the object will in detail will discuss in later video, but as of now just understand, if you are receiving something from the message box, then we need to anything. It's maybe message box, maybe input box, and later we'll see. But we need to use a parenthesis. Space will not work for them. Okay. So just write prompt. Sorry, not prompt. Would you like to proceed? So just I'm asking some question. Now this one completed. Now here I'm asking the type will be yes, no. Okay, so yes, no, here. So okay, yes, yes, no. So I'm giving confirmation. So now I'll close the parenthesis. See what it is going. Yes. Okay. When it is giving yes, it is 6. Okay. Now see, if it is 6, it is in double quote, and if we are saying no, So it will give this 8, sorry 7. If you are saying no, it will give 7. Now you can say that both are we are receiving in the numerical, then what is the use to use the string? So when we'll use the input box, we'll understand why. In this case, we can use the numeric value, but better to use always string. Okay. So as this one is, we know that that will be string numeric both the cases. In that case, we can use the integer. Okay. In this case, we can use as integer. So we can store the value is at both the cases we are getting this. So that's why now why when we need this is we can say that I use the wrong type because both the cases where you getting that value of integer. In that case, you can use that integer value. But this one, when it is giving the 6 and 7, but message box, we can treat the 6 as, so here we can write one note that 6, which is giving yes, we can treat as VB yes, and the 7 we can treat as VB no. So those are the things. When later when we'll do the if and else checking points and statements, so there we'll cover those things because there we need to check it. As we don't know, we have not covered the checking points and if and else statement. So I'm not going into that. But I said that whatever the 6 is there, we can use the VB yes for that and VB no for 7 whenever we are receiving the no. And later examples when we cover the if and else statement, we'll just get this will be take care of those things. Okay, so this is a basic concept of message. Now just let me go for the input box on 02. So now sub input. So here for input box, let me try with example underscore. Now, so if you already know that input box, we will go get something in whatever the purpose of using this input box to get some information from the user. It may be we can ask for an example. We can ask the please input your name, please input your age, or it may be numeric. I mean to say it may be numeric value. It may be string value. But here for the input box, you must use string, always string, to capture the value. Why? We'll see now. We, for an example, write age as always. This time we'll keep it string. Why? We'll see in a bit. So age is equal to. So let me use first what the problem we'll face. We'll just understand it. To input box. Now see when I'm giving that input box, and then just let me write that please enter your age. Okay. Now title I'm giving age. Okay. As we are receiving something, so obviously we should use a parenthesis which I started. Just close that parenthesis. Now see, we have used the integer. When I'm giving like 23 value, see it has received 20. Now, why it is may create problem? It obviously create a problem when person will select the cancel. When you cancel, then see type mismatch because why? Now what we know initial the by default value of integer is 0, but when it will cancelled by the user, it will provide us blank. Okay, that is blank, and blank is a text for integer string format, not integer format. That's why we need to use it string. Okay, now see if in this case if we write this, so for example when anyone is cancelling, see it is giving as a blank, so now it is okay. But you can see that the integer we are receiving the integer in string. Then what about the next treatments? We already learned that how to convert the string to integer and string integer to string. We need to use the same thing in such kind of scenario. Again, like you can just rename the thing as to understanding the for your clear understanding, and therefore this br, and now I'm giving that age as integer there. So this will be the proper one. So I'm receiving the string, and after receiving that string, what I'll do, I'll convert, sorry, not it will be c int will be okay. Then we need to. So now see if when we are getting the 23, now see we have received the 23 and captured in a string format. Now and next we are converting it to the numeric format. Sorry. So this is a way to uh, capture and conversion. But we still will have one problem, that if someone is now if anyone is giving rank while converting this, it will create one problem because we can't convert the blank to the integer. How to handle those problems? It will be covered in the if else. We for handle this type of error or situation, we need to understand that if and else statement. When we'll do that, we will capture it. We'll just learn how to handle those kind of scenarios. So this is a basic understanding of input. Now we'll cover one example where we will use both the things, input box and message box both. So just let me 0 mod 03 and example. So sub, so I'm giving this random name. So first, what is requirement? First, we will assume here we'll take one numeric value, and the project will take the numeric value and multiply it by 2 and return it to the user. So we'll take the integer, and we are assuming it user only input give the integer input. So just input underscore u as integer. Okay, so we are assuming that user only provide the input. So input box, then giving please insert a numeric number. Now title multi. So that's all. Good. Now whatever user will give, it will be captured to this variable. Now we need to multiply by 2 and we need to store it in somewhere to show that. So let me take another variable. One example, values I'm taking as integer. So setting the values, what I need to do, this into, now what is going to happen? Just let me, yeah. So anyone is giving 23. So you see, we have received 23. Now what is going to happen? Just understand this. We have 23 in this variable and the values, it is initially 0 as it is just declared. We have not written anything. So whenever I'll execute this line, the value of input u will be 23, will remain the same, but the multiplied value will be stored in the second variable. Just check it. Same thing. Okay. After executing, not before executing. When it was the execution line, Yola line is on the line, it was not executing. At that point, after executing that line, the value got changed. Okay. Now it is 46. Now we can show that MessageBox then your result is. Now should we write the variable inside of that double quote? What will happen if I write that? Just understand. So here I'm just selecting uh, it's another thing that if we don't select anything, it will just by default it will take information. Just check it out. So if I'm doing the 4, see, it is multiplied by 8, it is multiplied 2 and the result is 8. Now see, it is giving me that information. Okay, so this one, and your result is values. It is not providing the what is a contained value was there inside of that variable. It is not providing it because it is treating the variable as a text. It is not giving, it is not treating that variable as a variable. It is treating is as a just text. So if you want to consider it as a variable, you need to just keep it outside of double quote. So, and to combine text and variable, you need to use AND. Okay. So first thing, to combine a variable and string, we need to use AND, and to use the variable, always we need to keep the variable outside of double quote, else it will be treated as a text. Okay, so just check it. I'm giving 34. Now see, it is 68. Now it is showing. Now it is showing your result is 68. Now understand one thing. We are using two variables here, but this is not equivalent. We can do it, but this is not required. We can do it in by using the first variable only. I'm just commenting for this and writing one line and make you understand why I'm doing this. So I'm changing first variable into. Now what is going to happen? So just recall is here what was happening before executing, the value was 0 for the second variable. The first variable was the same what we got, and after executing, the value remains the same here. for the first variable, and second variable will be containing with the updated figure, which is multiplied by 2. Okay, but in this case, what we'll do, so we have got the input 2. Now, what by this code, what we are saying? We are saying update the same variable. Currently, what is containing is 2, and update that 2 into 2 and store in the same variable. We updating the variable in the same variable. So, for an example, you have the container, it's having the 2 and multiplying the 2 and keeping it 4 variable in the same variable, the value. But where we can use that? When you have a scenario where whatever the value you are getting from the user, you do not require in the program anymore. Then in that situation, you can update the value of that variable. Else you need to keep it. Else, whenever you require the variable, the value you receive from the user, then you need to follow the first way. This one. You need to another variable to store the updated one. But when it don't require, you can work with update the same variable with the multiplied value or updated value. Whatever the mathematical treatment or whatever the treatment you are doing, you can update the same variable if you don't require the value in future. Okay, so like that way, we need to use this variable to show this one. So let me just copy it and say here. So now if we do this, the variable is 4. Okay. So these are the concept and basic concept of using message box and input box. That's all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.